Well, hello there, everybody. How are you doing? Yeah, a little smooth jazz from Mr. Joe Sample. Gotta love it. Yeah, I do. That's why I play it. So I'll get out of my iTunes window here. So allow me to put that right there, and then I'll get that out of there. And here we are. We're all set. It's a beautiful day. And I have to say, favor over us all, nothing missing, nothing broken. And as he continues to hit the buttons, and we're all good. It says, go, dude, go. So we're out of here. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday. Uh, Today is the day for internal reflection. And then Saturday is for the divine. And then Sunday, we go for beauty. And Monday, we prosper. Far out. I'm all in. So, again, BOSTO to all of us, be of service to others. Eventually, it will come back around where you will be of service. And, yeah, interesting things are happening, no doubt about it. So what else has happened? I know that I saw David Barry. How you doing? Got the children far out. Hey, Belanca, David Castle, my man, and Mr. Rufus. Got to tell you, Rufus is top drawer. Hey, Joe, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Teresa Ann, hello. Stephanie, good to see you. I the Maelstrom. Robin, good to see you. Gaia and Paul, much love to you both. Nina, how you doing, girl? Mad Cow, saw your thing about water. We are water. Yeah, vast majority of us, at least we think we are. I think we are. So speaking over water has the same effect over you. Hey, Isby, what's good to see you? Deborah Sloan, hello, my love. Good to see you. Evelyn, hello. Eric, good to see you as well. Teresa, hello. Robert V is in the house. Jules, much love, darling. Good to see you as well. And hello, how are you here in the UK? Good to see you. We got a lot of Soul Tribe people in the UK, man. I mean, all over the world, but yeah. So Lost in Space, what's up? So Eric says the last night show, man, what? You should see my freaking email box. Yeah, it was a barn burner. Indeed. Indeed. Thank you for the laugh there, Eric. That was beautiful. Hey, Linda, what's good to see you? S. Lee, hello. Let's see what else is happening. Hey, Kathy, good to see you as well. So, cheers, whatever your libation of choice is. Someone wrote to me about the epiphany I brought forth about taste, about being able to smell. And truly, it really brings this up. Is that afterlife like the movie Ghost? I mean, is it really Patrick Swayze in the subway where the one ghost is teaching him kind of the ropes? And, he could break the cigarette machine. He could even undo the cigarette pack, but he couldn't enjoy the sensation. Don't know. Logic would say to me that what I'm really experiencing is in my mind. I get the physical part of it, but it's my mind that's doing the interpolation of what it's sensing. And then my spirit, which is directly connected to my mind, because my mind and my spirit are one and the same, is telling me, well, this has the taste of cloves and cinnamon, and this is the aroma that it does when it hits the tongue and the palate. And I'm going, okay, well, if that's the interface here, there has to be an interface in the ethereal realm. Gotta be. I mean, it would seem. I mean, didn't the story in the myth about, the dude that they said resurrected from the dead, there is that one story where he's cooking breakfast for the other dudes, you know, and eating, implying that there must be a body that we've yet to inherit. Hey, Jack Dreaming, good to see you. I love hello, beloved abstract. How are you doing, Julie? That a body that can be able to materialize into the physical plane, enjoy the physical sensations such as eating, tasting, smelling, and yet, like that, move on to another realm. I guess my whole point is that I don't think it stops here, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So thank you, everyone who has pre-ordered the cards. We're getting closer to our goal. You know, I had someone write to me and said, you know, we've wanted to show you appreciation and what have you. And I wrote them back. I said, order the cards. This is really the energy, I think, that was channeled to Al, that was really connected to the group. I mean, as we did this as a group, giving recognition to these angelic beings, it gave them honor. It kind of told them who and what we are. And I got a sense that I know Karen is working on, it's going to, when you order the cards, it's going to be this really cool sheet. Yeah. And this is top quality stuff, folks. I'm telling you, collector's items. And if you really, as I said before, if you really want to charge a friend, a loved one, you give them a deck of these cards. Number one, they're going to look at you and go, wow, never got anything like this before. And you're going to go, yeah, I know. Wait till you actually get to know them. Woo, talk about spreading the magic. And for those who can't, you know, swing it, don't worry. You know, you speak favor of your life. I happen to know for a fact that there is going to be some giveaways. And I'm not talking one or two. I'm talking, you know, a number of them. So there we go. What's happening else? Let's see, tonight on Andromeda 7, Celestial Gateway. Miss Lori's over there, along with Teresa Gilbert. There's just a number of Wonder Grandpa Brian's on there a lot. Miss Julianne Payne and others. Tonight, I think this discussion is virtual reality. Is there anything virtue about it? Yeah, it's going to be a good discussion. So I think at 7 p.m. my time, which would be 9 p.m. East Coast, I believe. So yeah. What else is happening? Hello, Anne. Good to see you. Nina has a show today, which would have been her normal Wednesday, right after this show, 1 hour. So she's left a link, those of you who see it, and even in the replay, hit the link. Hey, Brandy, good to see you. What's happening? Please send some love to Canada, specifically to Ottawa right now. Very sad day in Canada. Yeah. Folks, this is why we study what we study here, because most, you know, here's the conundrum. So you have those who pray for one thing, and you have the other side who is praying for another. And it seems like they're praying to the same hierarchy. So what? How does God factor into the equation here? My point to this is where we, as divine ones, is the truly we are gods. This is where we can intervene amongst ourselves Says, if there are no senses on the other side, I'm going to miss the cannabis bomb. I think they got shit over there, brother, that will simply blow your freaking mind. And your spirit was going to go out there tripping the light fantastic. Yes, this bus will be parked there. It will be called the Steiger experience. Get on board, because once you're on board, holy crap, all I got to say is strap in, because you're going to be then finding reality. Reality? Ha! Reality. Yeah. So, Joe, that's just my opinion. But again, I digress. This is where we can make an impact. We can make an impact into the ethereal realm. Everything in the physical realm is preceded by what happens in the ethereal realm. And it has many realms as that is. There's definitely a spiritual realm. And as the title of today's show, The Week in Review, we have some conundrums to deal with. I mean, so this is one of them. It's the problem. And I believe that a small enclave, such as group like this, who are only knowledge seekers. We study the occult. Why? Well, because it's basically what it says, hidden knowledge. Why'd they hide the knowledge? And if anyone is trapped in that duality that think that knowledge is good or evil, you're mistaken. Knowledge just is. It's to the one who holds the power that it becomes either positive or negative. It's not the knowledge. Knowledge knows no good or evil. And that's the key to wisdom. Wisdom doesn't see duality. Wisdom knows. In my meditating today, I was meditating on the fact that I was raised with faith. Faith was key to everything. If you wanted a new car, you had the ability to manifest it. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, but say unto this mountain, be ye cast up and thrown into the sea, and not doubt in your heart, but believe that those things for which you pray and ask for, you shall receive them. But there's a little kicker to the side of that, because here's what they don't tell you. The other part of that says, and if you have anything against anyone, holding any malice, unforgiveness, hatred, revenge, animosity, jealousy, you best get that shit out of you, because the first part ain't going to work until you get the second part taken care of. Now, you get the second part taken care of, that first part becomes supernatural. It's in me. It's not a mystery. It's not, to me, it's not that difficult. In fact, it's not difficult at all. You see, I came from a position that says, without faith, that's sin. You see, people get the idea of acts of sin. Bullshit. No. It's the fact that if you lack the ability of faith, true faith. So what is true faith? Again, this is in me. Well, now it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You see, I was practicing witchcraft, occultism. I was taught by this by my Christian ministers. Now, they were as deceived because they didn't really realize it either. But that is way back magic. It's what you would call it. Manifesting something that where the substance of everything comes from. Well, who can do that? Do animals have that ability to do it? Do the plant kingdom have the ability to do it? I don't know. We're so arrogant in our thinking, our doctrines, our dogmas, our programming, that we limit ourselves. I used to have dreams where I flew, and I always freaking hit, and it got to be frustrating. I would start soaring, and then I would hit power lines. and the power lines were in a grid system. You see, and I know what the dream was trying to tell me. I was limiting myself. I was limiting my spirit by the very belief systems that had become incorporated into my life. Now, when I broke out of those, my dreams of flying are no longer restricted. Somebody needed to hear that. So my point is, to all of this in Canada, we have the ability to change the future. We can do it in such a manner that no one sees it. You see, that's what the power to be, the ones that manipulate us, that's what they do. They're not in the forefront. They don't need to be. The power, the true power, is never actually seen. And those who possess it or have keys or portions or fractals thereof, they practice those in secrecy. There's a reason for it. That's why our quest here leads us down. You know, the material we cover here is in some cases heresy. I mean, I did the whole Satanic Bible. Love that. And you know, the fact is, more people who actually listened wrote and said, holy crap, I'm using my own vernacular, had no idea. One person wrote, what wisdom. Now, you have to understand things that we do. We like to add drama to our belief systems. We like to create plays. That's what church is. You go into church, and they teach this in theology school. It's a play. And your congregation, you have to make sure that they become part of the play. Now, you do this by psychologically preparing them to become malleable to what you're saying. You're going to use sigils. You're going to use signs. You're going to bring in the occult, and they're never even going to realize it. But what they're doing sitting in the pews is that their focus is upon what the minister that's in the pulpit pulling you into the pit is about to do to you. And they cast invocations. They cast spells. Spells, particularly how you get people malleable to this, is that you do it with music. Music is magic. And that's why it's always the primer to what will eventually become the program for that sermon. That's how it's done, folks. And so if you have the antithesis of the right hand, which would then be the left hand, but here's the conundrum. What we're finding out that the right hand has all the attributes of what the left hand was been accused of. And it seems that the left hand has more of the attributes of what the right hand was supposed to have been all about. Well, sucks. We discussed this week about Lilith. Monday's show was all about this conundrum about what is light, that good is light. And people have all their different perceptions on what light is. But we found out, hello, Shannon, how are you doing? Music is everything. Yeah. Sound healing, spot on. That light, in reality, we don't see light. We see waves of electrical protons. These photons have the ability to register their electrical impulses upon our sensory perceptions. Those are the two electrical things. The other three are gases. We learned about the noble gases. But if light is in fact equated as good, because we're all into this mind trap, in the beginning was God, and was the Word of God. Well, you know, that implies then he had to speak. Why is it a he? A he never gave birth to anything but a bad idea. So so he says, let there be light. Again, directly implying that this is a creature of darkness. Now, if you follow the simple common sense that it said, and it saw that light was good. To me, I don't mind, if you're going to do games of chance, that we all love that. It's what we do. But that sounds like a guy that was throwing the dice, hoping like hell that it didn't land on, boxcars. It said light was, well, wouldn't it known that light was good? It had to wait for the cause and the effect to determine what the effect was. That doesn't sound to me like an all-knowing being. It's like it's kind of learning on the fly. How many of us have been put into jobs where you apply and they hire you on the spot? And you're going, oh, shit. All right, I know I can do this, but you got to learn the whole freaking system. You know what it is? I mean, that's what it sounds like this, whatever this was. So, but the conundrum still sits. A creature came from darkness, now says that what it created, light, that this is good. But it's an interesting story in the Colburn Bible. It talks about a different God who was of the darkness and had a realm created much like this one. But all the living beings, all the living creatures lived in a light that we call darkness. And they thrived. Read it. I did a whole thing on it. It's in the archives. It's somewhere, probably 1,000 or so videos in. And then that says that there was this intrusion, that this other being of the darkness came in, and it brought forth its light. And its light killed humanity, all the creatures that dwelled upon both the land and the sea. The only ones that survived were those of the sea who went deep. And as a result, this light created its version of what was here before. Different story. Interesting, Lee. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And then we had the discussion that, well, all right, so if light is good, then how can Lucifer be bad? How can the light bearer be evil? I mean, it says in the Christian Bible, it's a terrible thing to be in the presence of God, in the presence of the Lord. That his light is so much of a light that no man, no human can stand before. Well, then that implies that this light is destructive to us. I mean, it's what it says. I didn't write it. That other dude wrote it. So now we got Lucifer, got Lilith, light bearer, morning star, metaphors, analogies, heavily symbolic, but still doesn't address the whole thing about how is Lucifer the light bearer? How does evil bring forth illumination? And if illumination is basically this, there's some weird stuff going on here, folks. Light. And isn't it interesting that the breakthrough, I don't know how many of you made good investments in the late 90s. I made a shitload of money off JD Youth Uniphase redback networks. My point was, it was when the breakthrough that we learned that we could now put knowledge into light. We could shoot these photons full of our packets. And that's what brought the breakthrough of high-speed internet. So then that would directly imply why what we read on Monday alone, that this is the way these beings communicate. They communicate on a level of fracturing light. We learned that there are different noble gases, and within those noble gases, there is light. There is light that we have not even begun to perceive. And this darkness appears to be the natural state, because it's not actually darkness. There is a darkness that's beyond darkness. There is dark light. Someone sent me, and I'm going to post it. I think I may have. There is an electrode diodes, and these diodes emit dark light. It's the most fascinating thing to see what they do. And what does dark light look like? It's amazing, folks, because what it starts out to do, you see the diode, and then all of a sudden, right in the center, it's like this vortex is opening up, and this dark shadow, it's very different. You have to see it. It's in there. The person who sent that to me, sorry, I'm not giving out names, but send it to me again. I'll put it in the link for today's show. Dark light. Dark light absorbs all light. And you see it in action. So there is a paradox right there. So is there a light that we're not even aware of that maybe is giving mention, a light bearer, but we have no frame of reference as to what that light actually is? We make the assumption, and that's where humanity has got itself in a conundrum, because we have assumed, and every time we do that, it only makes an ass out of you and me. So I'm just reading in the chat room. We can review. I mean, it's very interesting. And then talking about Lilith, it's very obvious that there is a whole lot of false knowledge, so much superstition. It's so biased, so heavily weighed in one perspective, that the more they dig deeper into the evilness, the depravity, et cetera, that really what we're reading here is the direct assault upon womanhood. And we're reading because the way they do it, they have to put it into metaphors that scares the shit out of someone who's ignorant enough to read it and believe it. And really, if you just want to get it right down to what it really is saying, it's the filth that our species, the disdain our species has for the feminine. We hate it, apparently, can't handle it. We despise and rile anyone who ever tries to bring the goddess to the forefront. And those that do, they make it so damn weird that no one wants to be near it. I mean, it's freaking crazy. When I saw this one person doing that, she says she had made contact with Lilith, and it was wild, because she says all worshipers of Lilith are vegan. So, and it just got ridiculous beyond there. And I'm just going, we contaminate everything. I mean, the true goddess could appear before all of humanity, and you know what we would do? We'd kill her. We would reject her. summarily, wholeheartedly, because we have been so conditioned to hate the divine feminine and anyone that's associated with it. Why? Because it is the direct antithesis of the current power structure. And this is a problem, because if this ever catches on, well, that's bad news. This is what this channel does. And those who are a part of it, this is our quest. And it's typical to see so much of humanity get so caught up in the smallest, the nitpicking stuff. What was it that the parable said? Before you get the speck out of your brother's eyes, remove the log that is in your own. Oh, we don't like that kind of stuff. Man. No. And what that is actually saying is do some inner perspection. Because if it's really, truly there, it'll take care of itself. It's not your business. I get the most hate mail from Christians who somehow seem to think that they are God's only messenger and that they have the whole answer. They know everything. And wow. I write them back and I say, well, if you're the representative of what you're saying is God, I want no part of it. Thank you very much. Keep it to yourself. Interesting, Linda. Interesting. But that's what it really comes down to. I have found that that's what magic really comes down to. You can go in, the Enochian magic, chaos magic, the Golden Dawn magic, all of it. They all are dismissive of the divine feminine. That's why I reject the Golden Dawn magic, Aleister Crowley's magic. It's polluted. It will never obtain the power of which those who seek after are wanting. You have ignored the true source of that power. These are the things that we've learned this week. And it's, I look at it from my background. As I'm about to drift into the ethereal realm, falling asleep, I'm having conversations now with the goddess. I learned another occult secret in Christianity in my Christian days, and it's called the ask principle. I taught that principle in sales. All motivated speakers have basically taken it from the Bible, but ask, you shall receive, right? Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be answered. It's part of the 7 principles. Read the Kabbalion. So applying the 7 principles along with the fact of the ask principle, well, it's like a phone line. I can call you and keep calling you, but if you're not going to pick it up, it might as well be a dead end. My end is alive, yours is not. And so I'm looking at this and saying, again, no male god has ever created anything other than a bad idea. And that's self-evident around us in our reality today. So I'm talking to the goddess. I don't know what her name is. It may be Lilith. I don't know. But I approach it with respect. in my history, there was a time where I did a lot of political producing. I was a political producer and worked primarily for Republicans. I did work for a couple of Democrats, but my forte was I was a great writer, and we would shoot political commercials. Well, I got good enough at it that more and more higher ups in the power structure were recognizing this. The point is that at some point I had to take an etiquette course. Yes, there is proper etiquette when you meet dignitaries. And you don't want to come off as some ignorant redneck, like, oh, gee, man, no, there is an etiquette. I know how to eat at a full placement. They would call those kind of state dinners. Know exactly the procedure, know exactly which instrument is used for which particular part of the meal. I also know the customs that are in protocol when high-powered dignities are in the room. I had to learn all these things. Why? Because it's my people that are behind the camera. We're filming these events. Later, we'll take them into the edit suite and we produce the commercials for them. But the point is that transfers over to me in my approach to the spiritual. I'm very much aware that there are higher intelligences than mine. There are spiritual laws, hierarchies, customs that some of us will be introduced, many will not. Why? Because there is a separation on the other side. It's weird. And so as a result, I know these customs. I know the proper etiquette. And I apply that when approaching the goddess. Till I learn, it's like Proverbs says, even a fool seems wise who keeps his mouth shut. Huh? Okay. Hey, Brandon, what's up? Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Love the journey. That's all I got to say. So we've learned about Lilith. There's still so much more. And I guess to sum up this whole point with this week with Lilith is that number one, if I lived 3,000 years ago out in the Arabian desert, nighttime would be a very frightening time. Everything out there is either going to be poisonous or trying to eat you or kill you. And so it's very easily to take these things and then begin to create in the imagination the causes behind those. Demons, devils, jinn, fallen angels, dark angels. Yeah. So, and then understanding the culture, which was anti-female. These were male dominated societies, cultures, and beliefs. So anything that scared a man, because if the truth be known, the man is afraid of the woman. Here's the thing, women. Most men, as they're growing up from little boys, and their little peckers get hard, and they begin to realize that there is something different about the other species. When it really gets down to it, they're afraid. Oh, you have the the masculine and the macho, though, they know about everything. But the vast majority of men, and even today, when they get into their 50s and 60s, the vast majority of them have no idea how to pleasure a woman, how to please a woman. And with all the interactions with women, they still don't understand women. You remain a mystery. It's a paradox. And these are all representative into the belief systems. And everything that I see about Lilith boils down to the simple truth is that this is a male who cannot stand in the presence of a true divine power. It's true. And so with that, it has a whole different approach to when I study the occult. I don't approach the being Lilith with fear. There's nothing there to be afraid of. And if it's like most, they will respond to what you emit. So if you got the fear, guess what? Ask. You just asked for it. It's going to be returned to you. But if you go in there with a little different of respect, a little dignity, and say, all right, I'm a neophyte here. You know, I recognize the authority. I recognize the power. And it's been hidden again. So that makes me, and subsequently a lot of you, a problem. Because we're not hit by the fear factor. Even the things that happens in the physical world. I mean, I have found out I have a powerful ally. We had someone that did my wife wrong. Now, I forgive the individual, but the action has a reaction. And what we're finding out is that it seems like bad things happen to people that do or try to do something bad against us. We're not even, we don't send angels out, we don't send demons out, but it appears that there is a spiritual presence that, well, seems to have taken a liking to us. And it's not just one. Good, Joe. Everyone has a different approach. But I'm telling you, as we become more in a collective of acknowledging the goddess, the more it's going to be revealed. It's kind of like your neighbor. If you don't know who your neighbor is, then you have no idea what your neighbor is about. And what's really curious about this, if you don't even know your neighbor's last name, you would have no way to acknowledge them. You would have no idea about the family. You wouldn't know about how the family has grown, came together. You wouldn't know anything. You could make your own conclusions based upon observation, but those observations would obviously be in error. So there, hey, Michelle, what's up? Good to see you, Cowboy. Good to see you as well. This is the weekend review. I mean, this is what I got out of, the 2 to 3 days that we spent just reading, who and what this Lilith is. Brenda, thank you. I mean, that's how I look at it. And, I in my life, I've come to understand that this has been a remarkable journey, but I'm already sensing and anticipating an even grander journey that yet awaits me. And I am learning, and I'm very grateful and thankful for the powers to be that have allowed me the courtesy of taking so many side junkets that I'm still able to arrive here. Because this is not where I was anticipating ever being in my life. And I'm speaking the true sense of being, not in the financial world or the other things like that. This is a spiritual journey. The others are just accessories. And I am so grateful that I have come to this place to begin and recognize that there is someone greater than even what my perception of a deity, a God, was. And the way that it was going, I would have been one of the vast majority that would have completely missed it. But I'm grateful. And then this group formed. It's all of y'all's faults. It's not me. I mean, I was driving the bus, just fine. Y'all are the ones who flagged me down. And now look at this bus. I mean, damn thing's almost a mile long. Try driving that, huh? Hey, Lucky Smith, how you doing? So, hey, Papa, how you doing? Good to see you. Hello, Joyce Marie. John Price, how you doing? Skyfalls, what's up? So, yeah. And I'm grateful for it. Because as that veil dissipates, it now has allowed my spirit to realize that there's a whole new realm that I can explore while I'm still here. And y'all are part to blame for this. Because the old expression, the idiom is true. Iron sharpens iron. And in here, Martin and Heidi, I'm thinking about the A380, Indeed, it's a triple decker. But that's how we learn and we grow. This is an accelerated class. I was in those when I was in school. This is an accelerated class. And that's why many times those who drop in and they hear for 5 minutes, if they last that long, and they go, whoa. I mean, it's like trying to teach someone advanced calculus that hasn't figured out algebra yet. They're going to look at you and go, what the hell are you talking about? You're going, well, what are you sitting in here for? Don't you know math? Well, I thought I knew math, Now you see, Shannon, that's not good. Taking the blame. No, that's not what I meant. And by the way, that just is, dear, that's because you are a precious, precious being. And they've tried to tell you that, well, it's all your fault. No, it isn't. You're just the catalyst. That's all. So when you think about that aspect, it's marvelous. And it is such a conundrum in one aspect. But I'm again most grateful. And the other thing is, I can tell you, because of this group, iron sharpening iron, I've learned as much as I put out there. So the reciprocity is there. I have seen occasions where certain individuals have tried to be a bifurcation and it didn't work. The resiliency of this group is remarkable. And I'm looking forward, as long as we have, and whoever the power be continues just to see us with favor. And the thing about it is, that's what we speak here. Nothing missing, nothing broken. And I find that, speaking that, yeah, the spirits like it. I know the goddess likes it. What I've picked up in my spirit, in my mind, is a deep sense of gratitude, appreciation. In fact, I heard the word. She actually adores me. In fact, I think she adores all of those who actually seek her out. So that means she adores you too. You go, Shannon. You go, girl. I love it. Exactly. No more. You tell them this pretty woman has got something to say. That's exactly what you do. Way to go. Fantastic, my dear. Fantastic. So, yeah. And we'll continue to learn. I mean, the more the group grows, the more we continue to increase in the Gnostic understanding. Someone said, well, what does Gnostic mean to you? Well, I think Gnostic is very much associated with, we know, knowledge. So you could say that the occult is hidden Gnosticism, Gnostic, meaning seeking of knowledge, a knowledge seeker. And I think to be called, well, they're going to call you a name anyway. I mean, a Gnostic isn't bad to be called. A pagan isn't a bad name either. Just mean country folk. And folk, I'm going to tell you what, now, I can make a Sunday dinner. Yes, indeed. Be that kind of a meal that when you get finished with it, you just want to find some place to lay back. You can contemplate and talk and what have you, but yeah, satisfaction guaranteed. And that's the other thing you should be talking over your life. You should be talking that you are going to be fully satisfied before you leave this realm. There's no reason for you to leave this realm not fully satisfied. If you're lacking satisfaction in your life, you're the only one that can turn that around. What time is dinner? Usually about 1 o'clock. But it's true. And as we continue on this journey, we all should be fully satisfied. I think that's the saddest way to leave this realm, unsatisfied. Shannon, I love that. That is cool. And again, that's why we're here. People talk about their dreams not coming true. Okay, that's cool. But that is in no way should hinder what your satisfaction is. If you have a desire, a hunger, it should be satisfied. And to leave this realm thinking, man, I don't think we're going to do that. There's too much unity in this group, too much psychic connections, and they're getting stronger. Oh, yeah. Yep. We recently went through a test in this group. And whatever was here, I don't believe it's, if it is, it's staying way in the background because it doesn't want to get exposed. That's what will happen. Okay. This is fun. Messing with the Sasquatch. There we go. All right, folks. Weekend review. I had some other stuff I was going to cover, but I'm looking at it and it's like, nah, it's too late to really get into this thing. But what a great week. We have found so much. And, when Trina and I get together, those shows alone, you almost have to look at them twice to get what is being communicated. And I'm very well convinced that there's a lot of channeling taking place. Yeah. This group is getting really good at that. Uh-huh. Now, the other thing is to tell you, as you keep on developing these intuitive senses, remember and it's just part of the deprogramming. Things have changed, and you're going to find out that that there's always that pull to be drawn back into that old way of thinking. Why? Because it's comfortable. Many of us have perfected it for decades, but it can be changed. It's just part of the buffet. I mean, it used to be the primary chef. Well, now we've taken the chef and made it part of the buffet. I'm not talking cannibalism here. This is just metaphoric. It's now become the dip. And that's how we roll here. That's all I got to say. All right, folks. This has been fun. Saturday night, make sure to tune in to Robert V and the Milky Way Soul Tribe. I think he's got Scotty Roberts on there. I think it's the hidden agenda of the reptilians, I believe. David Barry, much love to you. We'll see you later as well. Nina has her show on Sunday, and right after this one on the hump day. So it's the best day. So live it to its fullest. Be fully satisfied. When you go to bed at night, don't be laying there going, damn it, if I'd only done that. It's like, having to go when you have to pee. It's the worst feeling in the middle of the night. But, people are going, well, yeah, the point is you'll never go back to sleep to be fully satisfied in your sleep until the other takes place. But hey, all right, Susie Q, how are you doing? Gilbert, good to see you. Pergredy, good to see you as well. So everybody, much love to you. Have yourselves a great Saturday and Sunday, weekend, strong end, however you want to make it, whatever. Doesn't have to be the end of anything. It can be the simple it is. And Julie, that's good. Julie says this group has helped her find talents I didn't even know I had. That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks, stay groovy. See you later tonight with the Andromeda 7 ladies. And hey, thank you for a fantastic week. It has been enjoyable. Yeah, feeling the love. That's what I'm saying. Feeling the love all over the place. All right. Peace.